And that was the official release party of A Showgirl. This is the new Taylor Swift album release party. Apparently, my wife, who is a Swiftie, told me that she usually does these big private release parties for like top fans and stuff like that. I guess if you can buy tickets, you can go. But this time around, nothing came out. There's no real marketing for this. It was just kind of announced that for the weekends, she was going to put out this official release party of her new show, The Life of a Showgirl, or of her new album, The Life of a Showgirl. So we went and we saw this. And now I was going in expecting maybe like a behind the scenes look at the making of the album. Sort of, she's done that before. So I was looking forward to that. I do like music documentaries, I should say. I figured, with the new album coming out, I didn't know much about it. It was all brand new. It just come out like Friday. So go listen to some of the songs, and I like her as a filmmaker. She makes some good choices in her music videos. So, and she does talk a lot about when I went to the Eras tour on the stage, like I had to sit there for like 8 hours before the show even freaking started. So while I'm sitting there, thankfully, she puts up on the screen like all her behind the scenes stuff and how she makes all these different music videos. Me being a guy who loves watching filmmaking, that was a lot of fun. It was also a lot of fun for me to see everybody setting up for the live event and things like that. So going to this, I was like, maybe we'll get more of that and like what goes into making, because it's a big deal. She puts a lot of work in. This is literally just the album. This was some of the most boring moments of my life. I had to sit there. It was low energy. It didn't seem like anybody cared. Like the movie theater was sold out. Don't get me wrong, but it was a smaller movie theater. Nobody was cheering. Nobody was like clap on. Nobody was like really like, it didn't feel that energy that I've seen in other places and at other times. So like I was not feeling it. And also it was just sort of a boring experience. You go in, she's sitting in a chair providing commentary on each song. She shares the fate of Ophelia, which I'll get to in a second. But she made a music video for that. So she shares the music video because it's the first song in the album. Then every other one's sort of like a lyric video where she see the lyrics on the screen and pictures of her or videos of her and such, like in a kaleidoscope view. Again, all of it was very I'm sitting here just watching and listening to her new album. Then she's adding context to, I guess, the songs, which I don't believe it. The songs don't match up with what she was saying they were about. And it's very overt in a lot of ways. The song Wood, which she kind of and yeah, it is about Travis Kelce, so to speak, his football, I guess, if you will. And but there are others that are like can be find a little bit troubling just based on the fact that it's like, what are you talking about? Like nothing you said this song was about is being conveyed in this song. It's not one of my more favorite albums of Taylor Swift, and I don't really have a favorite album. I do like her songs. My wife is more into the Swiftie side of it, but it just was kind of lackluster and boring, if I'm being honest. With everything we had gotten over the years, this is even one that came back and I was just like, this might be your worst one yet. Not to say that maybe I just didn't get it, but I think I did. I'm not that dense. So I will just say this. I gave it a 2.5 out of 5, mostly for the fact that she did capture me by showing behind the scenes filmmaking on that one music video, and she intersplices it between her commentary and stuff. So you do see more of it as you're going along, and I do like that behind the scenes. As far as the music went, wasn't a big fan. The lyric videos, I'm never a big fan of lyric videos anyway, so I just found the whole experience really boring, besides that filmmaking side of it. Also, stop lying. You've never read Shakespeare. You clearly have never read Hamlet. You maybe read the Wikipedia. You don't. Ophelia. And I don't care who gets mad at me for that. You clearly do not understand the character of Ophelia in those books, and you're basing it off portrait and what you think. There's no open interpretation about Ophelia. Ophelia is the tragic being that we all know in that play, and we know why when we read the story. So when I saw that as a Shakespeare fan, I little perturbed about that, especially considering she put her fiance or boyfriend down for not being a Shakespeare fan. I'm like, but you're not, because you don't understand anything. You understand the character. I'm not dumb. I'm just saying people like to pretend they've read Shakespeare and they don't know it, and I like Hamlet. My favorite's Julius Caesar, but make a movie about that, but not Taylor Swift, somebody. But like when it comes to the Fate of Ophelia, it's a catchy little tune. It was a cool music video. I like what she did with the music video and what she was trying to say about Ophelia. But the fact that you said that Travis Kelce saved you from a fate of Ophelia. That does not coincide with I'm not even just read anybody out there, just actually read Hamlet before you debate that. But one of the greatest plays of all time. So it's not a hard read. It's a fun read. It's an interesting read. And I love Shakespeare, but you clearly don't understand it. And I'm sorry I went off on a little tangent there. It does get annoying to me. However, this might even be struck down to a 2 out of 5.
You just talked yourself down.
I just talked myself to a 2 out of 5. So I think I give this a 2 out of 5. It just wasn't great for me. I'm going to move on to the next. Sorry, Taylor. Maybe you'll pick it up next time. I think you need heartbreak for your song. And I'm not wishing that on you, but either you need heartbreak or you need to have a kid with that. Stops 2 out of 5 for me. Maybe a half if I'm being which movie? Jeff says that I'm not the target of that movie. It wasn't a movie. It was just music from her thing. So it wasn't interesting. Like, she duped all of her fans into coming and listening to her album for like $20. So
smart.
Cool. Is that smart? Like, okay. All right. We'll get to that. Let's get to our next one, because this is another one I felt duped by.